Good day, viewers. TechXSoftware here. Welcome to part 3, I think. Now, just piece up the mic a bit. Okay, so basically, last time we were thinking about putting in basically JavaScript or jQuery to make a scrolling navigation bar. Now, this is what I've done. I removed this kind of stuff, got rid of this, and thought of a different way. And I also added a whole bunch of this content so we know it's actually scrolling. And I shortened this so it's better. So, what we're going to do, get rid of all this stuff here. Forget about that. Sorry for the last tutorial, but this is basically how progress goes anyway. So it's good to know this stuff, I guess. So, this is a navigation bar. We're going to give it a class, just call it navbar. This is the button. We'll call it ID buttons. That might be a bit annoying, so we're going to just call it both buttons. Actually, both call it button and button. It's good to just differentiate between the two, but it's okay. The access in both. You know, ID is for JavaScript, class is for button. That's the easiest way to remember, basically. So our class is called button, and we're going to go into the JavaScript. As we have put in here the styling sheet. Obviously just save every edit you do. Now we're going to go here. CSS, bit different. You want to put dot. See, dot there basically is dot whatever. Actually, let's just show you a better way. So these are paragraphs, right? You can just put P, and this is body, you can just put body. So I'll just show you how things are. So everything's in the body, we'll just do body. You do this weird bracket, don't know what they call it, but let's use them. And we must make the color is red. So you end your color stuff with all this code. This is basically like other code like color.red or something like that. We'll see if that actually works too. So this means basically dot this. You don't need a space, but it looks better. This means color red. Spelling's wrong in Australia, but oh well. And this should actually, since we've included everything in the styling sheet, it should work automatically. Refresh, and everything should be red. This is why we use CSS, because edit everything at once, and basically because you're lazy, you can just edit the whole everything. If you use a styling sheet, the whole website. So while we're here, let's just see what .red does. I don't want to confuse everyone, but let's see if it works. No, you have to use that. Okay, so that's basic format. Now let's enter the button. So you do dot button. As you remember, we have used the dot button in the class. Class is JavaScript, and refresh. Text is red. Blah blah blah. Link doesn't do anything. Now we want this to scroll. Now there's a code that we can use. I think it's fixed. I think it's position fixed. So you've got like position, from a POS position fixed, and that should fix it in position. So let's refresh. And as you know, we have a scroller navigation bar. This is way easier than using JavaScript. We try to avoid JavaScript as much as possible because some browsers do use it actually a lot, but some don't like it. We just try and avoid it as much as possible if you can, but eventually you can use JavaScript anyway. But try and use it less as possible. Less is better. CSS is better. Some browsers is disabled, but majority of CSS is enabled. And some people actually disable JavaScript because viruses and blah 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 blah. Okay. As you know, it scrolls. We have a bit of a problem here. We have to solve this. It goes over there, basically. Goes over it. Because the position is fixed. Now, to fix that, we could actually do just put a paragraph in there, like a blank paragraph, but that would be a temporary fix. But we can get to that later because we could do other stuff. Actually, what we could do is we've got navigation bar. We're going to use the as a navigation. So nav bar, refresh. Nav bar still works. We're going to move the whole navigation bar, and we're going to move this into the header because it's going to be basically the header. Put it down here. Paste. Let's make it look better. Spread all this out a bit. And there you go, refresh. Always refresh and debug because there could be a problem and you've done all this stuff and you don't know where the problem is. That'll take ages to solve. So it's basically just save, edit, debug. And refresh is debug, by the way. So let's add our pages in. We're just using buttons for now. We add stuff later. I think I had 4 pages. Just call this home. I wasn't gonna have a button for that. Create sort of button. About. Contact. Obviously, I forgot what pages I was doing. Patches. Or updates, I'll call it. Refresh, it should, yeah, it's in a line. How neat. Yeah, of course it's in a line. That's how it goes, left to right. And these will be our navigation. Still the problem with this text behind it. That wouldn't matter when you're scrolling down like this. Obviously, we're going to put something in the back, probably. We could do that now, actually. We'll put it in a box, sort of a panel. Now, we're going to do this by adding a div tag. So you can either put the div tag here or here. Since I'll put it in here because it makes more sense. So we do like div ID equals what do I call it? Can't be border. Nav box. That box sounds good. Also do second letters or third letters with a capital for the next word, basically, so it's easy to read. I'll call it class equals nav box. You don't have to always have to put an ID or class if you don't want to, but it makes things easier in the future. So just end it off with /div, end it, make this look better. Make things looking better makes things way easier to navigate and such. So I call this navbox, and we go into the styling. I do dot navbox bracket bracket, and you would do like background. I think it is. I think it's background. Background color is red. I'm not sure if that worked. I think that's it. It looks right. Okay. Let's do color is what theme was I going with? Let's just stick with black. We always change it later. We'll always change it later anyway. Let's just see how it goes. Hey, we've got a bit of a border, so let's see what happens if we change the width. Not width. Height is, I don't know, 50? 50 sounds pretty good. Oops, end it. Refresh. Okay, that's okay. That's okay, you're getting there. Let's change that to 20. 20, not 200. Okay, refresh. Okay, I think we'll leave that now. Leave that for now. We'll fix this up later and try and get it around the whole thing, and probably fix this stuff going behind it once it reaches the top. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'll see you guys in next part, 3 or 4, one of the two. Link in the description. See ya.